All right, welcome back. In the previous video, we learned what actually Trivy is. We got to know what actually Trivy does and why we should consider Trivy for scanning the images. This specific video, we are going to see how we do the installation. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. So for that, we are going to start from very much scratch. I am going to create the AWS instance and I'm going to tell you how things are actually working. But before even we proceed, I have created one repository. In this repository, again, there will be multiple sub repositories. So the way we are going to learn it, all the things will be documented over here based on the sub repository. Now, if you go to the first directory, that is first Trivy installation, you'll find one readme.md file where all the information regarding whatever we are going to do in this session will be recorded. So here I have covered what actually Trivy is, the theory part, the bullet points for us to revise, and secondly, why it is used, and then whatever commands we are going to run today will be logged over here. Now, is this the correct way to learn? Well, definitely no, because this will be acting as a reference note for you. But whenever you are doing a fresh installation, I would recommend you to directly go to the website and directly take the packages from there. Now, why I am saying this is because there are multiple updates which are going within the company, and that is how they update their products. So whenever you want to do a fresh installation and whenever you want to take a long term support application, directly go through the website and take the references from there instead of taking it from any repository. All right, yeah, even if you refer this repo, it will work because I just have created it, so it is based on the current date, it is latest, but I would recommend you to go to the website and do the installation. All right, so let's get started. Here I am in AWS account and here I'm going to create one instance. So it would be again a free tier account for us to do the work. So here I'll name the instance as Trivy can, and I'll select the base OS as Ubuntu again, and we'll keep everything as is. And for the key pair, I already created one key named Trivy key. And once everything is done, just click on launch instance. So it is straightforward. No need to change any of the configuration. We didn't even install anything. It is just a fresh instance with nothing configurations done at the beginning. Okay. I'll go to this ID and I'll try to connect it with my console. I'll just copy the SSA and here I'll connect it directly to the instance. All right, we are inside the instance and here you can see we are inside the terminal. Now let's get started with the installation. Now instead of going through these commands, I'll just show you what actually is present in the readme.md file. Here we are installing wget and gpu pg. So wget is used to install any packages from the internet, and second nupg is used for verification of the keys. Now here we are downloading the key and adding it into the apt repository where it tells that it is a trusted file that you can install. And what apt is a package manager for Ubuntu. And once everything is done, we are going to update the system since we did the configuration change. And then finally, we are going to install Trivy, and then we are going to run Trivy version to verify whether the application installs successfully or not. So you can directly copy and paste the commands from here, but I would recommend to follow the approach that I am telling you right now. Go to Google and search for Trivy installation on Ubuntu, and you'll find the first link, that is trivy.dev. That is the actual website given by Trivy. And here you need to search for the operating system that you're using. If you're using Red Hat based system or CentOS, go for the installation methods given here. Now, since we are on Debian Ubuntu, so we need to copy this set of commands and the application will get installed. Now, if you are someone who is using Windows, then you can use one more package manager that is called Choco. So if you scroll down, there will be one package manager for Windows also. One second. And secondly, like you can also get an exe file equivalent. And if you are in macOS system, you can install it using brew. So for Windows, let me just tell you Trivy installation on Windows. Okay. Again, it is the same website. Let us search for Yeah. So here you can see, you'll find the Trivy zip file. If you go to the release page itself, it will give you the binaries. You just have to install this binary file and just run it as is, just like a normal application, and Trivy will get installed in your system. Now, since we are working on Linux-based system, that is Ubuntu, we are going to follow the installation method given for Ubuntu. So let me go back here and copy the commands which are given for DB in Ubuntu. And whatever commands that are present over here, I already gave an explanation what each line means. Okay, and everything is logged in the repository itself. So this repository you can use for your learning purpose to understand what actually that command does, and for installation go with the standard method, go through the website and refer the commands given in there. Yeah, once everything is done, paste the command and wait for some time. What it will do, it will install all the packages that are required for us to run the Trivy. Okay, now we learned that Trivy is used for multiple purpose. It is a security tool. So we would be scanning one of the images and we are going to see how does a Trivy reports look like. Okay. Now there are multiple things Trivy offers, but one of the main thing that Trivy offers is security scanning. Now see what we did. We installed each and every package. Now it's time us to, if it is the time for us to verify whether the package actually got installed or not. So for that, I'll just write Trivy hyphen version, and you can see we have installed the Trivy version, Trivy here, and now it's time to validate the package. And how do we validate? So let's say you want to scan a particular image. Now I mentioned earlier that you can get vulnerabilities on official packages also. So let us demonstrate the same statement what I said in the previous video. So I'll go back here, and here I'll search Docker Hub. I am not signed in right now. I am not logged in with my user. So I'll just search for the official image. So let's take Ubuntu for now. Now here you can see there is a logo that defines that it is a official Docker image. I'll go over here, and the first thing that I'm going to do is I'll just check whether there are vulnerabilities in Ubuntu latest image or not. So for that I'll write Trivy image and name of the image. So Ubuntu latest. Okay. And if you see, it is updating the DB, it is downloading the vulnerability DB, it is downloading the artifact, and post that it is running the scan. Okay. Now, once the scan is done, it has actually printed the report, the security report that is required first to understand is there any vulnerability in this image or not. Now here you can see it provided a tabular format for us, which will help us to understand what actually is the issue with Ubuntu latest image. Now here it also provided us with a report summary, which mentions that the target image was Ubuntu latest and the version is 24.04. The type of the OS that we are using is Ubuntu. There are 11 vulnerabilities and no secret is passed. Okay. And if you scroll down, here you can see it has give you again a summary that how many low issues are there, how many medium issues are there, how many high and critical vulnerabilities are present. In total, it gave the count also, that is 11. Now, how? So basically, it will give you the output in two form, that is at OS level and at a library level. So if you scan an application, it will give you the report for both OS and library. But since it is an operating system, it gave us the report for OS level. Now here you can see we have the CVE ID, severity, status, installed version and fixed version, and the title. Now let's say I identified the issue. How do I mitigate it? So basically, right now you can see the installed version is 9.4-3 Ubuntu 6.1, and the fixed version will be provided in the coming fixes, right? And whatever issue is there, everything is logged out under this URL. So if you open this URL, all the information regarding that issue will be present over here. Now, what it says, so Aqua Vulnerability Database, I mentioned earlier, it is taking the reference from one database where all the information has been logged, and here all the information related to that vulnerability is been logged. Okay, here it is telling the CVEs score that is 6.5, so meaning it is a medium level vulnerability, and what are the softwares which are affected, and is there any method to mitigate it, and what is the description. So every information regarding that vulnerability is been logged over here, and if there is any related pattern regarding the attacks, those are also logged over here. So that is the actual power of Trivy that helps us to identify the images. Let us take one more example from Ubuntu itself. I'll go back here and I'll go to tags, and let us scan the latest image that was pushed 3 hours ago. I'll click here and I'll copy the tag directly. So the name of the image would be Ubuntu rolling, and here I'll just type the command again. So let me just zoom in. So Trivy image, and this time we are scanning the image name Ubuntu rolling. Now again, what it is doing, it is scanning, it is pulling the data from database, it is scanning, and here you can see the reports shows that there are no vulnerability present, meaning the vulnerabilities which were present on latest are actually fixed over here. Okay. If I go back and show you the previous report, Ubuntu latest, the last time the version that we were using was 24.04 and it got fixed in 25.10. Okay. So that is the actual help that Trivy does. Now, in order to read this, you just have to go through this table. Okay. In this video, we learn how do we install Trivy and how do we run scans over few official images. Just before we close, just before we wrap up, let me scan one more private image that I have pushed in my local repository. So let me clear and let me search for my user. And here I'll take one of the image that I have that is present with me. So I'll scan GitHub profile summarizer, the project that we created in Jenkins in one shot. So it would be Trivy image and followed by the image. So again, it actually showed me the issue. There are 10 vulnerabilities and how many are present. So basically, see here, it is showing me the CVE value, the severity is medium, and here it is saying that issue is fixed and can be fixed. The installed version is 137.0R19 and it is fixed in 137.0R20. And if I want to know more about that issue, just click on this Aqua Security link and it will give me a detail about what actually that issue is, where actually is the weakness, what is the CVSS score, and what are the potential mitigation and the related attack patterns, and everything whatever you want to know is present under one hood. So it would be easier for me to identify what sort of vulnerabilities I am exposing along with my application. So yeah, that was all for today, and I hope you learned about the installation and how do you perform basic checks, how do you run a Trivy scan on a Docker image. So yeah, that was all, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you very much.